Hey, my name's Anthony Mosley. Come join me on my real estate ride-along. Hey man, so I've been dying to get a title agent on real estate ride-along, and today, as a surprise as you could be, Rory with Chicago Title walked in my office. Rory, what's up?
What's happening? How you doing?
I'm good, man. We're gonna go steal about 200 Van Dyke fidget spinners from the Wyoming office who stole them from me. So we're gonna go find them right
What's
now.
stealing? No, those are slick. Everyone's got those little fidget spinners.
Fidget spinners, man.
I was
Why
playing
not?
with one in your office.
So Rory, man, what's up?
Entering into the spring market, getting busy, getting into reactive mode, preparing for everything that's happening right now with lending.
Lending?
You guys are seeing it, right?
Dude, I read today that Fannie Mae is actually loosening up DTI requirements and is trying to go into the FHA market.
How does that help you?
Well, it will help me to help people, more people be able to buy homes. And I think it comes with the news of the rental market being so expensive. Like, the lending, okay, this is very non-biased. I don't know if I'm right. I'm definitely not an economist, but we're pigeonholing people into the rental market and at a very expensive rate, which is going to create a new kind of debt in our economy. It's gonna, where people can't buy homes, which they'd be able to buy a home for cheaper than what they'd be able to rent. So they're putting them in. We're putting them in a situation where they can't afford to live. What are they gonna do, man? So I think it's a good move on the part of trying to make it more affordable. But
No, I agree. Read recently that multi-units in the commercial land, Kent County, Grand Rapids area, all-time high.
Yep.
Huge market for it right now. So this could help alleviate that. So I think there's what do you call it, a demand for it, and then supply's not there. So when you got a shortage for it,
right? I dig it.
You got to find your way to find them in a new home. So that's a new. When's that program kick off?
I read it's supposedly next week. I don't know. It's not really a new program. They're just updating their desktop underwriting software, which you have to put everybody through in order to pre-approve them for a mortgage loan. And that's how you underwrite a loan, is off the requirements that are stated in the automated system, right?
So that means more people will qualify.
Yes, it should. It's loosening up credit standards too. So yeah, we'll see, man.
So more buyers equals more homes?
More homes, but we're still in the situation where inventory, it seems like it's increased a little bit. You probably see on the title end, you probably saw more closings last month than the month before, right?
We did. Yes.
So that means that houses are for sale.
I'm hearing it from real estate agents. Some of you may be listening to, and this goes up. I think I'm hearing more and more people find out that sellers are more willing at this point, or potential sellers are more willing at this point to pull the trigger on that sale. Interesting though, I've talked to a few people this week, and I haven't heard much of this. I've heard that the showings are still crazy per home. Okay. So you get a new house in the market, 15, 20, 30, sometimes upwards of 40, 50 people walk through a home, and you could get that many offers. Now I'm hearing a little bit different trend where there's a lot of people going through the homes, but fewer offers based on the amount of people. So instead of 17 offers for 17 people, you're getting 2 or 3 offers, and they're all solid offers, all over asking price. That may not be a trend now. I'm not a realtor, but I found that to be interesting. I thought you'd get a lot more offers per visitor to the home than what I've heard in the last week or so.
And I wonder if it's because there's not as much, there's more supply.
More supply, that would be an indicator, right?
Well,
so that's good news.
It's good for everybody.
It's great.
All right, man. So let's talk about what you do. There's very important parts to the real estate transaction. I shout out title agents all the time, man, because you guys don't get enough credit. There's the trifecta in the home buying process that you have to have. You have to have, well, you should always have a professional realtor, real estate agent, licensed. I believe that's a huge thing.
Bingo.
Because, I mean, would you go to court without an attorney?
Negative.
And here's the cool thing, buyers don't have to pay for a real estate agent.
That's right.
So it's cool. Then you have your lending. You need a loan unless you're a cash buyer. So that's why I backed off on the you don't need, but you know, could have, should have. You need some money, we got it for you. And then you have title, and title does
provide the new buyers with security that they're going to be the owners of their home. That's the owner's policy. You get a policy too, Anthony. You know yours is securing your first lien interest. So potentially 2 options on that title insurance plan.
Talk about title insurance. I don't think anybody really knows what title insurance. I mean, not anybody. Sweeping statement. A lot of people, especially home buyers, don't understand what title insurance is.
Why is the sky blue?
Why is water wet?
There you go. Well, there's an answer for it, but it's long and lengthy, so I like to keep it to the simple stuff. Title insurance is twofold here in Michigan. Some other states have it different. We provide the title insurance. I can explain a little bit of that. And we also provide the closing experience, and that's 2 important factors for you guys' experience and your buyers and your sellers. They want to be ensured that the loan transaction is going to go well and they're going to own the home when it's all done. For sellers, they want marketable property. All that means is that the title is going to be clean at the time that the transaction occurs. Then the closing experience. So your title reps out there will all agree with this, and there's a lot of great companies to work with. Your experience at the closing table is what's going to create repeat business for the title company, but also for you guys as the lenders and the real estate agents. Too oftentimes we focus on the title insurance itself and as an industry and forget that there's 2 sets of clients. There's a buyer and a seller, that's one set, and there's also our partners in real estate and partners in lending. So that's in a nutshell, I think, a brief explanation of why the sky is blue.
I have seen weird things through my times where title insurance protected. You know what? I will say a protected buyer. It was post-close. All of a sudden, this construction lien popped up that was the previous seller's, and it popped up like a year later. And title insurance is there to protect that buyer so they don't have to deal with that previous lien that was not recorded properly on title, correct?
That's correct. So unlike an auto insurance policy where it protects you for something, you're paying for something that's going to happen in the future, you're predicting that you may or may not get in an accident. Title insurance policy protects you for everything that occurred prior to the purchase date and backwards. Okay. So if it's not your fault, you're covered by way of title insurance policy, or potentially there might be some neglect in the listing or selling side that would be the responsibility of the sellers, but ultimately damages and the cost of the policy or the insured amount of the policy would be your protection.
Okay.
Does that explain it? Yes, it does. It does help.
It's like having insurance on your car.
It really is. You get in an accident, you get it replaced.
So tell us about you, man. You got a lengthy history and not just title. I mean,
I've been you. Kind of you.
Yeah.
Kind of you.
Just tell us your story.
I started out in publications. I think you did right along with Brooke, and she mentioned the same thing. Her and I worked together for 5 or 6 years, and we both noticed that there's more out there and some opportunities we explored, and I found myself not getting a real estate like Brooke did, but I found my way to mortgage lending. So I worked for a firm for about 3.5 years. The experience was great. It's kind of in the crash period, so I had some mixed emotions with how to continue on with my career. Found an opportunity to help people get out of bad loans for some of those people that did get into bad loans, so I started some short sale work and short refinances. Cool part is, met up with a great agency back then, 2010. We started to ramp up a short sale team to help those folks that are in need, and that's how I got engaged in the title. Really starting to work with the lending side and digging deep onto title policies in the short sale world.
Almost forgot that you had that short sale company.
Yeah.
And that is how you got pulled into title.
It was.
Forget about these things sometimes.
That's right.
I think I was doing loan modifications for a minute because there was nobody needed a mortgage. I was still in the mortgage compound. That was weird, man. That was horrific.
That was a tough time. That was the opportunity. So there weren't too many spots for LOs. Most of them were leaving the industry. It was tough to make a good dime. So instead of finding my way in and around mortgages, I just found my way in and around creating my own jobs.
It's awesome.
Creating opportunity.
And so these days, what's your position with Chicago Title?
The easy way of saying it is sales. You have under account executive on the card. Sales.
You're real technical today.
I tell you, you're writing things in crayon. The sales role really doesn't necessarily mean just sales. In fact, I think it's kind of a crude word for what we do. Like yourself, you're not just a mortgage salesperson. You're a dream finder. You're a home finder, helping people guide their way through a mortgage transaction, a purchase transaction,
and creating careers in the real estate industry.
You got it. So my focus, I think, really, if I'm to give you one, is to make sure that those that work with us have a good experience, build good relationships. Part of the reason I got into the industry and my first interview into title sales, the owners of the company I worked with asked me, so why is it you want to go into title sales? It's not like we create this. It's not like we say we're going to go to college for title insurance. I said, well, I'd like to get to know everyone. Kind of hoping they want to get to know me. Go golfing, go out to eat, do all the happy hours, lunches, luncheons, group activities. And that to me is title sales. I think I added Tiger games in there, Whitecaps games too.
It's you're a relationship builder.
I would say it's very true.
And in turn promoting your company and their service that they provide.
I think a lot of us do that. We work as individuals, we sell us first, and we wear our companies on our sleeves. So what's important to you in title? If I spin the table.
Man, customer service for one. I think you guys are pretty regulated, so cost stays pretty tight. Am I right on that?
That's correct. It's state regulated. There's a floor and a ceiling.
I've seen some a little higher than others, but never gets too crazy. It's the service that's provided. I think oftentimes it gets forgotten that the lender is we're lending our money, and as of late, I don't feel that is as appreciated by the not mentioning any title companies, but overall by title companies out there. It's gone heavy towards which realtor is going to refer to what title company, and we got to realize that we have to, or it has to be realized that we're looking for somebody that's going to protect our money, but we look for someone that's going to protect our money, protect our interest, make sure they get the documents signed correctly so we can have a sellable loan.
We call that par for the course.
What do you mean?
Get the doc signed, be there, deliver.
Yep.
So how do you go above and beyond if you're a title agency, title underwriter, title rep, title closer?
I think you guys do a pretty good job, man. There's times where we have to chase a title company down for days after a closing because they did not get a document signed right, a mortgage, for instance. They missed a signature on an amortization. But we're trying to streamline that too we're going to talk about that today, you and I, with our new e-closings.
Okay.
We want to get you guys on board with that. But it's making your job easier than ours. There's a thick stack of paper there, man.
That's true.
And there's the customer service with the client because they're signing a lot of paperwork and explaining that. So that's the closer, right?
That's true. That is the closer.
And so you got that side. So you guys have a lot of responsibility. That's what I think you're underappreciated, because you got to serve that client who's the client sitting at the table, and then you have to serve the real estate agent and make sure that they're feeling good and happy and they're getting the time slot they want, and then you're having to serve us as the lender too, getting us to your numbers, especially with the new closing disclosures and whatnot. I mean, it's not like it used to be.
Nope, no last minute corrections.
No, TRID actually probably doubled your workload and our closers workload.
Yep. Yeah, I bet you're right.
But that's what we look for from a title company is say this all the time: like, love, and trust. Right?
You gotta start with like, get to love, and trust. That begins the sale period, right?
Yeah. But you guys are a lot like us. You take a lot of beatings. we get yelled at a lot.
You know, I say it a lot with title insurance. We're on the caboose. You know, the real estate side of it and the lending side of it tend to take first and second position. We're largely last in, so our process is has to be a little bit speedier to catch up to you guys. So being at the back end of it, we're catching information last. And so if we're not on top of things as an industry, it's very easy to keep ourselves or make ourselves accessible for the critique or the criticism. Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, look at this. Van Dyke Mortgage, Wyoming.
You turn the camera around and see it.
Oh, we're going to walk up in this check. I do like your guys' automated, or not, it's not automated, but the emails that keep everybody in the loop. It goes to the realtor, our transaction coordinator, and maybe our closer too. They still do that?
It will. Whoever's in the system, whoever we get instruction to put in there, will send a notification to.
So I dig it. Pause. I've never done this before, Rory. We're going to experiment today.
Going from one spot to the next.
20 minutes later.
Well, that was cool.
Agreed.
What you got, man? Fidget spinner.
Scored 2. Caden Cohen, you guys aren't on Facebook, but want to get home.
What you got?
I was trying to do 2 at once.
2 at once?
I did 3 inside. Go the opposite way.
Eventually.
So, Rory,
What was that?
my favorite question to ask people is, what's the weirdest thing you've ever encountered in your line of work? Weird, scary, disgusting. Could be any of those.
Being hit on as a guy in this industry by someone else in the industry.
Well, you're a good-looking dude.
I doubt that.
There's nothing wrong with that, Rory. Take that as a compliment.
I would say the realtors have got to find the funniest crap. I don't think. I'm still dealing with professionals on a daily basis between you guys and realtors. I would say a funny moment for me was a new title rep came into the, leaving everyone nameless, businesses and names, and came into town here, and I'd only been in it for a few years, so I wouldn't consider myself one of the experts at that moment either. And the person asked me if I would stop going after that person's customers and to start teaming up with that person to go after a different company's customers. I said, great. Well, you start by giving me your list and we'll go from there. That was about the most opposite thing.
Was this person with the same company you were with?
No.
So it was an outside.
It was a competitor.
It was a competitor.
Yeah. So I won't say he or she. If I use he or she, I'll be misleading you on purpose, or maybe not, so you won't know.
It's like me say, "Hey, Josh Norwalk, please stop soliciting realtors that I want to solicit," or Julie.
I just didn't find the sense in sharing customers with a competitor. I don't know if that's comical or just strange. Maybe a combination of both.
It's interesting.
It is.
You ever had any fights at a closing table? You ever broke up any fights?
I've had near fights. I've had people pretty argumentative. It happened a lot more though. We talked about short sales earlier.
Yeah.
You know I was in it. Those were the strangest ones because they all would typically have something else that was underlying cause of the short sale, not just the bad economy. So divorce, there was some kind of job loss or income loss, and that caused some pretty intense moments at closing tables, so people would have to be often separated. But that was back then. More recently, it's been pretty good. Everyone seems to be pretty happy at the closing table. Selling a house at top dollar. If you're a buyer, you're finally getting a house. That might be a positive. So I told you I was gonna play with these fidgets.
I know, I can't stop it either.
I'm gonna go to 1 maybe.
It's 1. You're an overachiever.
I'm gonna have 1 beer instead of 2. Then that's how we do it.
Yeah. We see tears at closing tables a lot now. I mean, of joy, right?
Yes.
So that's good. I'm a softie. I hear the stories. I don't get to go to the closings like I used to anymore. But it's cool, man, when you see someone so happy that they're buying their first house or their next house. They got the tears of joy. I love it.
Was that what you aim for your service? So we talked about ours a little bit, but this is Anthony Mosley Real Estate Ride Along.
It's like building a friendship with your client. We don't want, after closing for that to be goodbye, it's see you later. We try to stay in touch with everybody afterwards. I mean, the real estate transaction can be extremely stressful. So we do everything we can, which is why we implement more people. It's more personal, even though it's high technology now. We just want people to not be as stressed. I mean, as least as they can, but we want them happy. We want them to feel like they can call us about anything. Or advice later on.
Well, sometimes before they found a house, you might. How long is that period where they're in that? I call it to be determined land, where they're searching.
I heard a story from one of our team leaders the other day that Carrie Hartman actually. She has a client that has put probably 46 offers in. And remarkably, the cool idea that this particular agent she works with does is they create a private Facebook group. Here's her tip, okay? Here's a good trick. They do a private Facebook group with the lender and the two buyers, the husband and wife, and him, the real estate agent. And they keep track of every house they've gone and seen. He throws them, properties out there if they're interested. They like them. And it's a really cool way for them to keep track of each other rather than a email chain,
With the wrong subject line that keeps getting shot back and forth?
Yes. Or you get things lost in translation or they get stacked wrong. So
that means you probably had 46 conversations with that person, potentially.
She probably had more because, there was offers and negotiating the offer and what should we offer. And then what's cool for the LO is that it's easier for them to prepare the pre-approval letter for those particular properties too, because they know what they're looking for. I think the real estate agent would even put what the tax amount would be annually, so we could present to the client, okay, here's what your mortgage payment will be, as opposed to just the estimations. So, I mean, think about it. You're in Rockford.
There's an app for that, right?
Yeah. Plug it.
I just had to.
Go ahead.
Don't you have your own?
Oh, yeah, but yours is, mine doesn't do taxes. I mean, it does it, but it doesn't figure out what a property's tax amount is.
See if the glare doesn't.
Just tell them what it is, man.
Chicago Agent 3.0. Taxes are already there. It doesn't replace the LO. You still need your loan officer. But it will give you the calculation you need on the fly to help your buyers find that.
Yep.
Find that spot. Slick.
Yeah. So there's a tip. Using a private Facebook group with your clients might be an easier way to communicate more accurately than email chains. And everybody's on Facebook.
Yep.
Facebook. All I can tell you from a lender standpoint in this market is to have a pre-approval letter, be pre-approved, know what you want your monthly payments to be. The most important thing about the pre-approval is not only to have it verified with the documentation that's necessary, but know what you want your monthly payment to be. It's not necessarily what you can qualify for or the highest you can qualify for. It's being pre-approved for a monthly payment that fits in your budget. You want to own the home. You don't want the home to own you. You still got to go on dates. Still want to go out and do things. You want to golf, have some beers, whatever.
Amen, brother. Everything you said there makes sense.
All right, Rory. Well, tell everybody who you are once again and how they can get a hold of you for any questions they may have.
My name is Rory Byrne with Chicago Title, and I'm a sales representative for Western Michigan. So anytime you have a title question, just need a little help, need an answer, need someone to review something, please do send us your title orders and title requests. There's no doubt I'd love to help you guys out in the transaction, bring it to the closing table. handshakes and high fives all the way around. You can reach me at rory.byrne@ctt.com, or my phone number is 616. And now I'm going to forget it because I'm under pressure.
Come on, man. What's your phone
970-6281.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Peace.
You never know what you're going to see on Real Estate Ride Along. Please subscribe below for future episodes.
Can you do it?
I do it with both.
Oh.
Fail.
Do your thing, Hector. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by Just Blaze and good folks at Rockefeller Records.
Got Rory.
It is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.